Hello, everyone. I'm joined by an awesome guest today. His name's RockManRespect, famous on twitch.tv/RockManRespect. Say hello.
Hello.
There he is. That's him. He's a real person.
I am a real boy.
He's a real boy, confirmed. And if you don't believe him, he'll send you a photo.
I will not do that. How dare you?
He'll send you a signed headshot.
I will send you a poorly drawn cartoon.
Yes, you really should do that.
Stick
if anyone
figure
doubts
confirmation. Anyways, thank you. I'm not Twitch famous, but thank you.
You're famous. No, you are. One of the absolute best streamers on Twitch. If you've never watched Twitch, what are you doing? Get on there. He plays awesome games. What are you playing recently?
I just started a Lego City, which is kind of like Lego Grand Theft Auto.
Yes. That game's fun. I definitely enjoy that.
Were you lurking again?
I've seen. Oh yeah, I was just kind of asking. I knew the answer, but I was asking for the listener. Because I saw a decent amount of it. Not a whole lot. But anyway, what should people know about you?
Besides the fact that I'm a real boy. Well, I enjoy video games and food, and definitely not long walks on the beach.
What if you played a video game while eating food during a long walk on the beach?
No, I wouldn't do that.
No?
No, because I don't take long walks and I don't play portable games.
Well, okay. Asked and answered. There it is.
I do watch a lot of TV.
What's your favorite TV show?
I spend a lot of time sitting in one place. My favorite TV show? On right now or of all time?
Yeah, I mean like current. I think I know some of your favorites personally, but like what's your current? Are you watching anything currently?
I watch a lot of things. And in fact, probably some of my favorite current TV shows are some of the DC TV shows. Like
Flash? I know you love Flash.
Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, things of that nature. Which brings us to the topic of the day. As to...
Yes.
I know you said you watched Wonder Woman and Justice League and you were kind of bored by them. You had some criticisms. I just, my memory's pretty bad. I remember watching the movies when they came out, and I really liked them. And I'm sure I had some criticisms of them. I just can't really remember what they were.
The important thing is that you had a good time, and that's the truth. I'm super critical about movies, but then sometimes I'll go and like The Last Jedi gets a lot of flack, but I loved it. It's just because I had a good time and I like Star Wars. Mm-hmm. That's it. And if you had a good time and you like Justice League, of course it was good for you. There were little things that a lot of big things. I just wasn't into it. I wasn't feeling it. There was a little eye rolling and groaning from me. I just had a hard time getting into it. But that doesn't mean it's not good. I just personally, it wasn't for me.
Yeah, and maybe it's some things speak to different people or whatnot, but I've always known that certain superheroes speak to me and other people don't like them and whatnot. But it was a couple weeks ago I was just thinking about this, and it's like, what was the first Marvel movie that came out in like the MCU or whatever the hell they call it? It was Iron Man, wasn't it?
Iron Man, yes.
Yeah, so like when Iron Man first came out and they're like, it's an Iron Man movie. Why didn't I go see it? Because I don't know who the hell Iron Man is. Like,
but it's an origin story.
I know, but I don't know. When I hear a movie about a comic book, and again, I don't read comic books. I never read comic books. So whatever I know of superheroes, it's from movies or TV shows. So it's when they make when the X-Men movies came out, I knew who the X-Men were because I had seen the X-Men cartoon, and that's really the only Marvel show I'd ever seen. I guess I knew who Spider-Man was, so I saw the Spider-Man movies, but I never really watched the cartoon either.
Sure.
But I was just going over in my head one night, how many TV shows have I watched that are based on DC Comics? And I came up with, off the top of my head, 16 or 17 different shows.
There's a ton of them.
And just
There's a
like,
ton of them, and
yeah, there's
a lot of those are really good.
yeah, it's just kind of like if it's there's so many out there that those are the heroes that I grew up as a teenager and an adult watching those TV shows, and that's how I learned about who they are and their backstories and all that stuff. I never learned who Iron Man was, and maybe I should have gone to see the movie. I didn't because I didn't care. It's
Right.
like,
I can't blame you for that.
and it's like the Avengers. I don't know who those are. I don't really know much
Right.
about Captain America. I mean, I know their names. Basically, that's it, and that's why I never decided to get into that whole
Sure.
universe is because I didn't have
I
that
would say,
background.
side note, Iron Man's good. Even if you never go beyond Iron Man, you should probably watch Iron Man. Period. Like even if you never go beyond into the Marvel universe, Iron Man one's excellent. That movie holds up too. It's really good. We actually just rewatched it like 2 days ago, and I was like constantly like yelling at the TV, like, "How is this movie so good?"
Hmm.
I love that movie, so it's just a recommendation. I won't hold your feet to the fire, but you may enjoy it because it's a good movie. Period. Whether or not you know about Tony Stark or care, that doesn't really matter. You might have a good time. You might not.
Well, that's the
But
thing
I
about
know what you're
movie
saying
nights.
about the. Well, yeah, there you go. We could do that. I know what you're saying about the different characters, though. I grew up with Batman, the animated series, and also even before that, Batman, like the Adam West Batman. Me and my mom would watch that together, and we would like tape it, and I would watch the same episodes over and over. That show is burned into my brain forever. So for me, Batman was the beginning of all this.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and I've
yeah,
always loved Batman.
yeah.
I also like Batman Begins. I like the Nolan trilogy. It has its stupid problems, sure, they all do, but all in all, I do enjoy those.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. When I was, a kid or a teenager, I watched the animated Batman and the 1960s
Yes.
Batman and reruns or whatever, and I enjoyed those movies as well.
Now, how do you feel about? I know we've talked about this, but Man of Steel. You like that one, right? The newer one.
Oh yes, I loved Man of Steel, and Justice League 2 also. I hated
I
the Batman versus Superman. That's a whole nother question. But I mean, if you want to
Yes,
just talk about Man of Steel, we could talk about that.
I love that movie. I'm with you. I really do love it. Uh, I've always had a thing for Superman. He's always been one of my favorites. My mom likes Superman a lot. Again, and we would always watch the Christopher Reeve one. The original one was my favorite, but I watched all of them. They're all varying degrees of quality, as you know.
Yeah.
Um, that's a nice way to put it. We don't need to talk about Nuclear Man
Yeah,
unless you want to.
I saw a little bit of Superman 2 on TV the other day. Yeah, as a kid, I watched the Christopher Reeve movies somewhere, probably rented on VHS or something. And I did the thing that got me into Superman. I've mentioned this before was Lois and Clark, the show from the '90s, and
Right.
it's pretty campy and but it's very nostalgic because it was the first thing I saw. I mean, it has its problems too, but it was really good.
I agree. I watched it as well, and I remember being hyped every time he opened his shirt and that S was there.
Yes.
It's just one of those responses you get. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's something like honestly, might sound silly, but like for example, Man of Steel, that movie makes me cry.
Yeah,
I know that sounds dumb.
one of the things that I like, and I've later learned that this is not always the way it was in the comics. Is a lot of times the way he's portrayed in the comics is that like he's really Superman, like the way he acts as Superman, and like Clark Kent is like this dorky, bumbling mask that he pretends to like trip over himself all the time. And I like it when it's turned on its head, like it was that way in Lois and Clark, where it's kind of like, no, he grew up for 30 years on Earth pretending to be Clark Kent. Like that's a real person.
Right.
He went to high school, he pretended to be this person. Like that's him. Like
It
Superman
makes it more human.
is his mask. It's like the other way around. And like when it's portrayed that way, that's when I really do like that. And I think that was kind of the way in Man of Steel a little bit. And, some
Yep.
of the things that they did. I mean, I loved it.
Well, yeah,
so.
I like it because they make him kind of like Kevin Costner. He's a really hard worker, and he's just like cool. He's like a good guy who's just trying to help people, and he has his values. And they have all those stories like, oh, the oil rig thing, and he saved everybody's life, and then he died. Whatever, he faked his death. All that stuff, that really I think that was really well thought out, and I think that adds something to the character. I think you're not wrong. But there's also something on the flip side in the first Christopher Reeve movie when or no, I guess is it the first one? It's in the second one when Lois shoots him. Remember that?
Yeah, I kind of. I really do have to watch that movie again, but yeah.
You should. We should watch it together. Honestly, you should come over and we should watch it. You should make the trip. We could have a Superman marathon. I would love that. But there's a moment when he's bumbling. He's doing that, and I didn't realize as a kid how much he's acting. When he's Clark Kent, Christopher Reeve, it's insane. He's like, oh Lois, he's like really doing it. It's crazy, and he's doing it right up until she shoots him because she's convinced that he's Superman, and she shoots him, and he pretends to whatever, and then she goes, oh, it wasn't loaded. Which is dumb because Superman would still know if he got shot.
Yeah, I was reading about that. Yeah, it's like he should know that it was a blank as soon as it came out of the gun. But yeah.
Well, also he could just see through and see if it was loaded. I mean, if you want to analyze it, he has X-ray vision.
Yeah.
But really, like, I'm fine with it because it's fun for the movie. But he does this change just it's just a very fast. Like all of a sudden, it's insane because moments before that he's like bumbling and and then all of a sudden he stands up straight. He stops slouching and he takes the glasses off and he's like a completely different person. And I love that.
Yeah,
it's great. It's just a testament to how good he was, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, what an actor for sure.
Yeah. I mean, really, I've seen him in other things, and I've always really enjoyed him. Too bad the Superman movies didn't do well. That's one of the reasons, though, why, the later ones, I mean. That's one of the reasons why I really liked Superman Returns. It's really trying to. It kind of serves as a sequel to those.
To the originals.
Did you like that one?
Yeah, I did like Superman Returns, and I think my main problem with it is I don't know if Lex Luthor has really been done very well as a villain, which again was kind of a reason why I think Man of Steel was good, because I think Zod as a villain was good. I just don't.
He's the perfect. Yeah.
I just don't think Lex Luthor, the way he was portrayed in those early movies and even Man of Steel, I don't get that type of Lex Luthor. And I mean, Kevin Spacey. Yeah. Well, let's not go into that, but.
No. But that was when we were allowed to like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, but I did like Superman Returns, and again, people criticize that movie, and I every time I go back and watch it, I'm kind of like, I don't see too much of the criticism.
I find more good than bad. I definitely do.
Yeah.
It gives me the same feeling. Maybe it's just because they're totally banking on that nostalgia thing. But I'm fine with that. It hits all the right buttons for a Superman movie. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, it is, it's kind of slow and long, but again, those early movies were too, so.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, just the credits to the first Superman movie are like 10 minutes long, and the theme just keeps going, and the names keep popping up. Like, I showed it to my 5-year-old, and she said, "Dad, is this the whole movie? Is there more than this? Is it just words?" She looked at me and rolled her eyes, and she's like, "Is it just words?"
Words. We should just get rid of words.
Yeah.
Everything should be pictures now, emojis.
Yeah, emojis. It should all be emojis.
Let's take it back to hieroglyphics. Full circle.
That's a good idea. Full circle.
I'm kidding.
No, I was going to say, have you seen the first one recently? The original Christopher Reeve?
The original what?
The first Superman movie. Have you seen it recently? The Christopher Reeve one. Have you seen it like in the last little while?
Yeah, I don't know when I saw them, but I'm pretty sure I saw them. And with the release of DVDs, they've I've seen a lot of stuff that I probably wouldn't have seen before, like the 1950s Superman TV show. I wouldn't have seen that unless it came out on DVD and stuff like that.
Right. Well, the point I was going to make was I was going to talk about Lex Luthor for a second. In the original Superman movie, the things that he does are insane. Like, honestly, he like dresses like a trucker. Do you remember this part?
Like
when he wears the wig and dresses like a trucker?
I'll have to go and watch those again.
It's It's unbelievable. They're trying to hijack this missile and reroute, like change the codes on the missiles, and he dresses like it's like Smokey and the Bandit. It's insane. But Lex Luthor goes and does it himself.
I really have to go and watch
But
it
then,
again.
right, he does it himself, and then the next scene, he dresses up like a paramedic and drives an ambulance. It's insane. He's like, he doesn't have a henchman. I mean, he has a henchman, but he's terrible. That it's just the things he does are. You're right. Lex Luthor is not a very good
I mean,
villain.
he had
for
that
Superman.
like secretary or gal Friday or whatever, and she like betrayed him. He was so nuts. Like,
Yeah.
like she keeps betraying him, and like he keeps rehiring her or something, from what I can understand.
I forget her name. What is her name? Miss something.
Miss Tessmacher?
She screams it. Tessmacher? Yeah, I think that's right. Tessmacher! I love that as a kid. Yeah, so I think we can agree on Superman all day. So aside from Superman, your favorite DC character is the Flash?
I don't know about that. I mean, I really like the Flash TV show, but I mean, I guess I would. I don't know. I mean, like we said, we both love the Batman. The Batman.
Oh yeah,
We're playing that. You know, me and Ratmus are playing that Batman game too. So,
which I have enjoyed.
Batman video game. If anyone's, it's called the Telltale series Batman.
Yeah, those are cool.
So that's good.
It's like playing the comic basically.
Yeah.
You make the decisions and like you walk the character around. There's not much action. They have action moments, but
yeah,
it's not
like
the
comics and
the
looks
Arkham
like
games.
The comics. So yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Those are cool. And I think weirdly those are fun to play together. I find more enjoyment when I'm playing with someone on those.
Mm.
Those are good. I hope they do those for everything. Like I would take one for Justice League on its own, or like or Superman one would be great. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be cool. And yeah, Justice League was another cartoon that I watched, and you know, just that got me into basically all those heroes a little bit. You know.
So who's your favorite one? Is it Superman?
I don't know.
You just like them all. It's okay to not have a favorite. It's okay to like more than one.
I don't know if I have a favorite necessarily besides Superman. And you've seen...
That's fair.
You of all people have seen the movies that we made in our backyard about these superheroes, so...
Right. You clearly love them, and you have a deep knowledge of them, at least from the TV show standpoints. You really do. And I love those movies. No one will ever see them unless you just change your mind. But I love them. I love you wanted to talk about those for a second? They're crazy. And I love them. They're great.
Okay, well, yeah, it started out where it was just me and my brother, and my cousin was visiting, and we're like, hey, let's make a movie, you know, in the backyard or whatever. I think it was the early 2000s actually. So we started out just ripping off Spider-Man because that's what we had seen most recently, and then it basically evolved into, you know, Spider-Man and then Superman and Justice League, and just made a couple movies in the backyard and stuff, and it got a little crazy.
They're fantastic. You even like do effects. I remember that one shot where you're supposed to be, I don't know, getting electrocuted or something, and the camera goes around. That shot was legit good.
That was, you know, that was the heyday of iMovie, which doesn't really exist much anymore. I think today people just shoot video on their phones, and it's 1 minute long, and then they just upload it to the YouTube cloud or Facebook or whatever. But, you know, back then it was recording and actually editing, and an iMovie, which was, you know, bare bones, but it was free and I knew how to use it, and it was just shitty effects that the thing came with.
Right.
Can I say that word?
What? Oh yeah, you can say shitty. I don't care.
Okay, good.
There's no content restriction. I just haven't been swearing just because I'm just in that mode. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you know, I've been making random movies in my basement for most of my teenage life.
They're great. I legit like them. They're fun. They have a lot of like character to them. and you clearly love it, and you can tell that.
Yeah,
They're
sometimes
edited and made
the
with
most I
care.
would get into it is when we put in like music and have like fight scenes and stuff, and we had some on location shots at a restaurant in Wisconsin, and one time I climbed up on top of my backyard shed to get a shot.
And you did some visual effects too. I remember.
Yeah, and some practical effects, with cardboard boxes for costumes.
Yeah, they're charming. I love them. I would watch them again. Give me a DVD box set.
Okay.
Imagine that. I would love that.
They,
That's what I want for Christmas.
I don't know. You probably haven't seen this, but they even have commentary tracks.
Yeah, I want the commentary and I want all the special features. That's fantastic. Oh, well, hey, we're kind of reaching the time limit here. Not that there's really a time limit, but I have not much more time to drive left, so I'm going to wind it down here. We've clearly only scratched the surface. Do you want to come back on sometime and talk about something else?
I would love to.
Maybe food.
Thank you.
We're food cousins, by the way.
Thank you for having this weird podcast that only a few people are going to listen to, but that's fine.
I'd love it. I'm really glad that you guys are checking it out, and yeah, I'm having a great time.
It's your creative outlet, so at least you got that.
I need to have something, yeah, till the stream comes back.
Yeah, but have me.
We'll talk about that off mic.
Have some other guests too. So, you
want me to? I should.
I'm not really interesting, so people don't need to hear about me too much.
I like you, and I like your opinions. So you're going to come back because I said so.
I like you and your attitude. Then again, this recording might not even work, and nobody ever heard this. So yeah.
No, I'll just put out the portion of me, and they'll have to guess your answers.
I'll send them my side of the conversation with stick figure drawings.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, man. Well, it's good to talk to you as always, and I always sign off by saying, "May the Force be with you." Do you want to say it?
May the Force and/or Schwartz be with you.
Amen.
And also with you.
And also with you. All right. Yeah. And that's it. Talk to you next time. Bye.